Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Joanne. Today I'm going to show you how to crochet this corset, and we're going to use simple stitches. We're going to use single crochet stitch. So if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, kindly do, and let's get started. So for the material, I'm going to use this yarn over here, and probably you're familiar with this name by Yaoko. So this is my brand, and I call this chunky cake because this yarn is super huge. It's 200 grams and it's a blend of acrylic and cotton, 257 meters or 280 yards, and it's a bulky yarn, it's a chunky yarn. So you can use any other chunky yarn, preferably cotton, or you can use medium weight yarn for this project. And if you love to purchase this yarn, it goes for Kenyan shillings 3.95, and you can get it from my store or Sona Yarns, link in the description box. And if you happen to recreate this tutorial, you can actually tag me on your recreations at by Aoko, link in the description box. So I've already used some of this yarn from the inside, so I'm just going to use this to create this tutorial for you, and one ball I believe is going to be enough for this project. And so for this bulky yarn, I'm going to use 6mm crochet hook. You definitely need a tape measure because our tutorial is going to be measurement based. You need a darning needle, appropriate one that is going to match the weight of your yarn, and you need stitch markers, and of course you need scissors. So let's get started. So we're going to start by making the breakup, and you're going to start with a height that is going to cover your fuller bust, starting from your under bust going up. So for me, I'm going to start with a starting chain of 6 inches to cover my bust. So this tutorial is going to be measurement based, so for the starting chain that you're going to start with, make sure that it's going to cover your bust, like from the under bust covering all the way up. Okay, so let's begin by making a slip knot. Make sure that you leave a long tail to help you weave in your ends, and then make a number of chain stitches. As for me, I'm going to chain 22. Make sure when you're chaining it's not too tight because we're going to work through the back loop. I have 22 chain stitches, so to start off the next row, turn your work, and on these palms, this is where you're going to work through the back loop. So in the second chain from the hook, make a single crochet, and then make single crochet. Let me zoom in. Make single crochet in each and every stitch through the back loop until you're done with this row. I'm done with row 1. So for row 2, you're going to work in straight line. Sorry, chain 1 and turn. So the chain 1 doesn't count as a stitch, so make your first single crochet over here, and then go ahead and make single crochet in each and every stitch until you complete this row. So this is the last stitch over here. Make your final single crochet like that. So after making 2 straight lines of single crochet, now we are going to start decreasing our work. So chain 1 and turn. The chain 1 doesn't count as a stitch. In the first stitch, make your first single crochet, and then to make a reduction, you're going to skip the next single crochet, and into the third one make a single crochet stitch, and then go ahead and make single crochet in each and every stitch. I'm going to meet you at the end of the row and show you how to make a reduction as well. At the end of the row, skip the second last stitch and into the last one make a single crochet to form a reduction. To start off the next row, chain 1 and turn, and so now you're going to keep on reducing your work. Let's do this one more time. The chain 1 doesn't count as a stitch. In the first stitch, make your single crochet. To form a reduction, skip the next and into the following one make a single crochet. Now single crochet in each and every stitch. At the end of the row, skip one stitch and in the final one make a single crochet. So now go ahead and continue reducing your work until you're left with only one stitch. So I'm done reducing my work and this is what I have. So what you're going to do, this is half size of one of your cup. So as for me, this is around 4 inches. So I'm going to make another exact one like this one. And here it is. So once you have these two sides, ensure that both are of the same size. Then after that, we are going to join these two sides together. So to join these two sides together, this should be facing the outer part. And then face them like this. Into the first stitch, pass your hook through both the first stitch, and using your other yarn you can make a slip knot and then pass it through to join. So we're going to use single crochet to join these two sides. Okay, so make a single crochet like that, and then in the next stitch pass your hook and pass it on to this other side and make a single crochet. In the next stitch pass your hook and then on to this other side and then create a single crochet. So use this technique, continue joining until the end. Once you've joined the two sides, you should be able to have something like this. So now you can chain one and cut off. I've already chained one, so you can just cut off the yarn and tighten it off. So make another exact cup and then we're going to proceed with the rest of the pattern. So now I have two equal bra cups and I've chosen this ribbing to be on the outer side. So before you cut off your yarn on this other side, so we're going to do the binding and we're just going to use single crochet and I'm going to work on the outer part. This is the outer part for me. This is how the other side looks like. So I reduced until I have one stitch left over here. So I'm just going to make single crochet in each single crochet row. So per row, just make one single crochet. At the top part, also cross over onto this other side. Just continue making single crochet, one single crochet per row of single crochet. So go ahead and bind this all around until you get to this point. So I have binded my work all around using this single crochet. So now there's something else we're going to do. We're going to make this piping on the lower part, and this is how you're going to go about it. You're going to work on the upper stitch. So your single crochet is like this. This is the down stitch and this is the upper stitch. So in the upper stitch, make your single crochet on the outer part. So my outer part is this one. So create a single crochet using the upper stitch. So the reason why we are using the upper stitch, it's because we are going to use this down stitch while forming the down part. So now go ahead and make single crochet through the upper stitch only until you get to this other corner. So in the last stitch, you're going to create a slip stitch and then chain one and tighten your work. You can cut off your yarn. So repeat the same process on the other cup, and then I'm going to show you how to start, how to join the two sides together and start working on the down part. So now it's time to work on the down part, and we need to fill this gap over here first before we continue with building the height of this top. So this is where the back loop comes in handy. So remember the back loops that we created after making this single crochet. You are only going to work through these back loops only. So to start off, you need to attach your yarn and make a slip knot. And then you're going to attach your yarn. So this is the middle point. This is the middle stitch over here. So in the second stitch, in the next stitch from the middle point, that's where you're going to attach your yarn only through the back loop. So locate that stitch and attach your yarn and create a single crochet. So this single crochet will count as your first stitch, and then your second stitch is going to be the middle point. So now you have two single crochets, and then your third stitch is going to, you need to cross over onto this other side and make your third single crochet. So this will act as our first row. So you have 3 single crochets, and before you start off the next row, make another single crochet in the next stitch. So now you have 4, and then slip stitch in the next. Maybe it's not making sense right now, but eventually it's going to make sense. Now to begin off the next row, you need to make a slip stitch first and then turn. Do not chain anything, okay? So now make single crochet in the next stitch. So that's 1, 2, and then 3 single crochet, and then we need to make another additional single crochet in the next stitch to level it down. So make another single crochet in the next stitch. So now you have 4 single crochets. So remember, in the first row we had 3, so now we have 4. And to start off the next row, you are going to make a slip stitch in the next stitch and then turn your work, okay? So it's like we are adding 1 stitch per row. So to start off the next row, which is the third one, so make your next single crochet 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then you need to level it down by making additional single crochet in the next stitch. So now you have 5 single crochets. We've added a stitch. To start off the next row, you need to make a slip stitch in the next stitch and then turn your work, okay? To begin on this other row, you're going to make single crochets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and to level it down, you need to make another extra single crochet to make it a total of 6 single crochet. And then to start off the next row, make a slip stitch in the next, turn your work, and proceed with the rest of the pattern. So it's like per row you are only adding 1 single crochet. So now you're going to go ahead and work on this. Use the same technique until you get to this middle point of your work, up to this. So I have joined this down part. This is the wrong side, and I'm just winding up on my work. So I'm just going to make a slip stitch in the last through both loops, even the upper one. So create a slip stitch, chain one, and you can cut off your yarn and tighten it. So this is the right side, and this is what I have. So now that we've leveled the middle point, so we need to work on this other side. So it's like we are building this top. So we need to fill in this gap because it's not leveled, as you can see. So that's the next thing we are about to do. Make a slip knot and attach your work on the side. So just attach through both loops at now, but you're going to work through the back loop and chain one like that. So now through the back loop, you're going to make single crochet in each and every stitch. I'm in the last stitch over here. So now you're going to chain one and turn. The chain one doesn't count as a stitch. In the first stitch, make your single crochet. So we're going to start decreasing our work. To decrease, keep this, and into the next one, make a single crochet. So that's 1, 2, then a single crochet in each and every stitch until you get to the top of the row. So I'm in the last stitch. To start off the next row, chain one and turn. The chain one doesn't count as a stitch. Then make your single crochet over there. Then make a single crochet in each and every stitch. At the end of the row, you're also going to make a reduction by skipping the second last stitch and then making a single crochet in the last stitch. To start off the next row, chain one, turn, single crochet in the next stitch. To form a reduction, skip the next and into the following one, single crochet. So you're going to reduce per row until you're left with just one stitch left. So here we are. I have reduced my work and now I have 2 single crochets left. Earlier on I said until one left, but I felt the need of increasing. So this is like the band, this straight line, it's like the band of the lower band of your bust, like your under bust. So I need to build it up just a little bit, and I'm going to make a few more rows of these 2 single crochets. So it's 1 and 2, just building it to increase the length. So make sure you use the tape measure to guide you on how much more you need to add. So once you have your desired length, I'm going to reduce mine into 1 so that I can make a long chain which is going to act as the strap to tie around your back. So to reduce into 1, I'm not chaining 1, I'm just turning and and then just make a long chain that you're going to tie in a crisscross motion through your back, and then come on to this other side and apply the same technique and build up the side way, and then we can start working on the down parts. So now we are on the last part of this top, and the last part is simple. So you're just going to make rows of single crochet as you build up your top. So on the end, you're going to attach your yarn and then make single crochets. Okay, So per every row of single crochet, you're going to make 1 single crochet. In the next row, 1 single crochet. In the next row, 1 single crochet, until you get to the other side. When you get to this part over here, still you're going to work through the back loop. So find a way of tracing your stitches. And then cross over onto this other side and make single crochets like this. So through the middle point, you're going to make single crochet, and then also onto this other side, repeat the same thing, single crochet up to here. When you get at the end of the row, chain 1, turn, single crochet into the first stitch. So now you're just going to work in straight line. Do not decrease, do not increase anything, just single crochet, going back and forth until you build the height of your top. At this point, probably you can see maybe your work is curving or it's not in a straight line, but when you make a few more rows, it's just going to level up. When you get at the end of the row, chain 1, turn, single crochet into the first stitch. So now you're just going to work in straight line. Do not decrease, do not increase anything, just single crochet, going back and forth until you build the height of your top. So now I have my desired band. So now the next thing you're going to do is to create loops on the side. And I've decided to cut off this yarn, this string that I made over here, and instead I'm going to attach my string on the top part, and then it's going to run through my back instead of having one over here and another over here to tie around the neck. So yeah, I hope you won't get confused with that. It's just cutting off this one and undoing it. So now to create these loops on the side, chain 3, skip the next row of single crochet, and in the next 3 rows make 1 single crochet per row, chain 3, skip the next row of single crochet into the next one, single crochet into the next single crochet into the next single crochet. So repeat this until the end. At the end, after making a single crochet, make a slip stitch, chain 1, and cut off your yarn. Attach your yarn on the other side and also create the same loops. Then come over here and attach your yarn in the middle point where you have this, and then just make a long chain that is going to run through your back, and you're done with this top.
Thank you so much for watching until the end. You can leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about this top. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, kindly do so. I would really appreciate. Until next time, goodbye.